Today we're going to go over some short game basics. So what I like to teach my students when doing chipping is I like to have my weight on my front foot. I also like to have my stance open because that way it's a little bit easier to move. So what I do is open my stance a little bit, put my weight on my front foot. It's almost about 90% on my front foot. And a lot of people, there's two different ways you can chip. You can use your hands to hinge. But what I think is easier and a little bit more consistent is kind of what it's called like a dead arm chip. And that way you just have your arms just straight back, no wrist hinge, which would be this. So instead of doing that, I just kind of keep my hands and arms quiet and then chip through. Another basic I tell pretty much anyone who's learning the game, chipping, is imagine the ground as a piece of paper and your club as a paintbrush. So in order to make good contact with the ground, you want to pretend that your club is the paintbrush, and then you're just brushing strokes on the ground. Just like that. There's no need to hack down on it, hack down on it, nothing like that. It's just nice little strokes. You're hitting a small shot. Now there's two different short game shots that are essential. There's chipping and pitching. Chipping is a shot where you want the ball to run as much as possible. So the ball is in the air less and it rolls out more. Pitching is more of a high arcing shot that stops a little bit quicker. So for example, you guys, what would you say, I know Kyle, you haven't had much golf experience, but for you two that have, what would you say is your biggest problem with chipping or short game as far as on the rough or the tightly mown areas, I'd say? You saw already? Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like you guys have pretty much the same problem. So what that is from is a lot of people, that's why I think the dead arm chip is the best, because you don't use your wrist, and that's kind of the one with the deceleration. A lot of people take it back really far, and then they realize they're like, oh, well, I'm going to hit this all the way across the green, and they slow down their swings, and they break their wrist, and it just flops up and dribbles out a few feet in front of them. So what I tell people is have a short back swing, and accelerate through the ball. Like that. You see the ball get up in the air, and that one is ran out a little bit, but you see the contact is very, very solid. And that also helps with the weight on your front foot. So what I would recommend for you two as far as a drill would just be to you could start your shots from back here if you get advanced enough and just fire through, or just envision like tempo wise. So you can have it go one tempo, 1, 2, nice and smooth, so you have the same all the way through, or it could be like other people where it's a 1, 2, like a quicker tempo through the 2, so it reminds you to swing